This song is really fun to play on the drums. Really fun. Especially when they go from the 1 to the 2 beat. I love the change. Check out this. Great songwriting. Check this out. 1 beat. I called them the 1 and the 2. This hits on the 1. 2. I love that. Oh man, I love it. What a great change. Oh man, I miss playing drums so much. I just don't have a place to do it. I don't have a place. Well, I do. My mom has a ton of property. She has a very large home. And there's lots of space, these weird rooms in the basement of this place that they bought. And she said, well, if you buy an E-kit, it can't be real drums or anything. But if you buy like one of those electronic kits you used to have down, like, you know, you could do it. And so I might actually look into buying a cheap E-kit. I know that E-kits have come so fucking far since I had my E-kit. So far. And you can get so much more for your dollar now. Let's talk E-kits in the chat as well. Nils, how are you? Pedro, how are you? Nice to see everyone. If you're in the chat, join us. You can be a lurker if you want to. That's fine. I don't care. As long as you're here and joining us, you don't have to talk. That's fine. But we always love when you do. And if you have not yet introduced yourself, if you've been watching and you've yet to chat it up with myself or anyone from the staff or anyone from the chat, the regulars in here, please don't be shy. All right, cool. What are we doing today? Well, my name is Tyler, and welcome to the AmSim Show, episode 74. I forgot a beverage. What the fuck am I doing? I also gosh dang it. I messed with my limiter a little bit, and I thought I had this stuff checked too. Yeah, there it's better. A little bit more volume there. Okay, what are we doing today? We're checking out, we're hanging out with Amp Room today. If you've never hung out with Amp Room before, I highly advise that you do it. This thing is amazing. Now, Amp Room, a lot of these plugins can be had in their own standalone. Some of the plugins in here. Why are we on that? Okay. Volarod. We're going to listen to something else here right now. Perfect. Skullbank. All right. Anyways, this is a great plugin. I never saw fires like the ones in LA. Yeah, man, it's getting crazy. I feel really bad. You know what else really makes me feel bad? When you get this, like, there's a real eat the rich thing happening in the world right now. I understand, like, people are, like, it's really weird. They have all these people that idolize billionaires, and then we have all these people that hate billionaires. But we're not talking about billionaires. We're just talking about people like actors and actresses and Hollywood people. And like these people all made their money, guys. Like, yeah, they're rich people. I get it. But these people have all worked their asses off for this money. It's not as if this is Jeff Bezos, like sitting back and collecting billions upon billions. Most of these people are just like, you know, actors, actresses, musicians, and Hollywood people, entertainment people. And we all watch these people so often in random things. And it's really, really upsetting to see people out there laugh with the laugh emojis, the laugh reacts at people's fucking houses burning down in the comments of like, oh, fuck the rich people. Jesus, like, come on. You know what? Like, we got to stop this at some point, folks. We got to stop this. I get we're entering the eat the rich era of the world, but we cannot lower ourselves to that. I realize that we like dark humor and people like to live on that edge these days, but gosh, oh gosh, you got to grow up on this one. That's all I'm going to tell you. We're going to move along. All right. My heart goes out to anybody out there. I saw this one video. I saw the title of it. I wasn't about to click it. It was somebody that ended up losing their dog in a bad situation. It made, oh gosh, my heart went out to them. Anyhow, let's go to this. We're looking through. This is we come in here to kind of hopefully get away from that kind of stuff most of the time, right? So we're gonna try our best here. Now, this I'm hoping isn't going to give you guys, by the way, you can create huge signal chains with this, but we're going to go with the suite version right now. There's a suite and there's a studio version. Right now, we're in the Angle pack. You notice there is the Marshall suite, the Angle Savage Mark II suite, Metal suite, Vintage suite, and Bass suite. These used to be known back in the day as Vintage amp room, Bass amp room, Metal amp room. If you've been around the amp sim industry long enough, you'll have played around with those old plugins, and they were old. We're talking Softube has been around for a long time, and these guys have some great stuff. They really do have some great stuff. This is some of the best software in the world, by far. I want to make that very clear to everyone that Softube is. I saw somebody say something to the effect of like, yeah, no, it's Softube isn't on the level of like a Neural DSP and STL tones. And I'm just like, geez, Louise, you got to watch before you open your mouth on really stupid stuff on the internet, folks. That is one of the dumbest things I've ever heard in my life, because Softube stuff is as good as or better than everything else out there. It is really, really good stuff. And they really have worked hard on Amp Room. So now basically what it is some of this stuff has standalones and some of it does not. The Marshall stuff all has its own standalone plugin, but if you buy the standalone, you have it available in here in Amp Room. Okay, so Amp Room also has some stuff that's on board when you buy it stock, and it's the older stuff. So a lot of the older stuff, you'll notice a very distinct difference in modeling throughout this plugin. You really will. Sorry, cat hair. Annihilation Text, how are you? Good day, Pedro. Good day, AT. And yeah, Nils, Brain Dead, how are you? How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's having a really great bunch of their day today. I had an okay day. It was tolerable. I feel like I'm yelling over the music, so we're gonna bring it down. Listening to a little bit of neurotech right now. So this is the Angle. This is the Angle Savage Mark II suite is what we're gonna start with. I'm using my Ibanez Destroyer with Z Labs pickups, and we're gonna see how it sounds right off the top here. So that is a very basic tone. We have not yet even started to dial things in. We're going to have to go to high gain. These little windows that pop up, I might add, are quite annoying. I would go through here. I am going to go through settings to see if there's something I can do to disable those, because that is not super. That is not. That's annoying. All right. What else we got? So I've got it on high gain now. This is. And I am out of tune. I am really tinkering with the heights in these pickups in this guitar. These pickups are not new. I've had them around for a while, but they were living in a Jackson for a long time. And in the Jackson, they were okay. They sounded good, but I wanted something different. I bought the Dave Mustaine Thrash Factor pickup set, and I'm going to try that set in Jackson. So this set, we're going to be tinkering with the heights a little bit as we go. All right, so... Okay, so we're on the right, we're in the correct. So now this amp is quite complex. Very complex amp. Now the Angle pack comes with two amps, by the way. You've got the 60 watt version and the 120 watt version. Both sound crushing, absolutely crushing. This is a fantastic, it really is though. It's a fun plugin. And if you've ever heard of the Angle Savage, or really most of the Angle amps, apart from, I think it's is it the Iron Ball that's really simplified, or is the Fireball that's very simplified? The Fireball 60 AT, I know that you're familiar with that amp. Is that amp not one of the more simple amps? The majority of Angle amps, however, do have usually a lot of tone shaping controls and things that you can kind of lay into. Very, very small. And that's why some of these windows are good right now, because, well, to be quite honest, my eyes suck and this is quite small. You have to make it very, very large. I'll try to make it a bit bigger. There. And we're going to go to the screen because you guys probably won't want to look at my face Anyway. So that next switch there. I don't like that. So now I'm going to go to a boost here. Oh, the boost is already, is it running? The boost is running. Okay. I know nothing about this boost. So I'm trying to try out the amp right now. So I'm not going to fuck with the boost. I am just going to go with a straight up boost pedal. Why don't we just go with this right here instead? Very simplistic. All right, now we're cooking with fire. That sounds pretty good. Pretty good so far. Now, for the cabinets, we've got a bunch of stuff going on. These are the two cabinets that I've got loaded up right now, but there are more available. We're going to go with the XXL instead. And I'm going to drag the blend all the way over to this side. I'm just going to go with one mic, a single 57. I don't want it angled, so we're not going to angled, get it? But don't. Now, where do I control the angle again? The angle. Angle? Angle. Can't remember how to do that again. No. Very interesting. I can't actually remember how to get it off angle like that. Interesting. Let's not worry about it for the moment. Oh, that is very shrill. Ah, here we are. I see. Now we got it. You just pull it away. I see what's going on here. Again, the very, very shrill. We're going to work on this. We're going to work on it. We're going to work. Okay, we're going to bring that back a little bit. Let's see what we got. Not too bad. We're going to bring down the presence a little bit. No, presence 8, rather. Not bad, not bad. We can do better. I think we can do better. Like I said, there's a lot going on in this amp. You really have to just kind of tinker and until you like something. Wait a minute. Surprise stream? No, not really. I said I was going to come on during the week at points where it's basically if I'm not bagged to death from work, I'm going to try my best to work on content stuff, some of the stuff we're calling the rundown. The rundowns are going to start getting posted pretty soon, so I'm trying to get those going as we go. Now, I'm going to start to blend in this other cabinet now. Okay. Interesting. Like, I mean, I know, I can tell, like, do they give you, they don't give you mic names anywhere. That's kind of like, and you're assuming people just know, like, the graphic. But that's not a complaint. And again, I feel like these pickups, this is the second time I've tried them in a stream. I've tried them without headphones. I don't know if it's just the amp, but really coming in here, I probably should not have used this guitar. Beefy. We're just kind of playing around with various mics and seeing how we go. Beefy. And I feel like, yeah, in any event, this plugin is fun, but we're not even close to the heaviest of all the plugins, or sort of all the components here. We're going to go to the heavy of heavies. The heavy of heavies, if I go to Metal Suite, is this bad boy right here, the Vildsint. This thing is only available in amp rooms, sadly. I did ask recently if there was a chance if maybe they would consider doing a... that's not what I want in that slot. I did ask to see if they would consider doing a standalone plugin for Vildsint. And I got kind of a diplomatic answer of, yeah, you know, we won't rule it out, but yeah, you know, we'll see kind of situation. But they do have this wonderful TCE preamp here. This is, you know, of course, the Genty pedal. We're gonna basically, this thing is one of the most unique amps I've ever seen in a plugin. This thing is really cool, and it's very different as far as how the channels are set up. Okay, the gate is also like a steel trap, but I don't need it right now, so I'm not going to use it. Now, this sort of has what I like to call a tone grid or a tone matrix. You can go clean and calm. You can go fierce and clean, rage and clean. You can go high gain or insane gain in along calm, fierce, and rage. Vildsint being the Swedish word for fierce. This thing is very interesting, and we're going to give it a go here. It is very aggressive. This thing is so beefy. Oh, that's going to be real loud. Gotta turn that up again. I really think I am going to need that gate after all. I'm just going to use my silencer for now. AT, this would be an interesting one for you to kind of look over. I have not tried it in a mix though. I'd like to note that. So we're going to try just the high gain and calm. We're going to start there. Yeah, I'm going to start there. And I'm going to come up a little bit with that. And we're going to run that about halfway. Not bad. I think I can do better here. So that is just, we're just sitting on this high gain calm. Let's go to high gain fierce. That is so genty. I'm trying to decide which one I like more. I don't know. Oh my goodness. Deedly 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 weedly 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 weed. Oh yeah. Interesting. Interesting indeed. Hopefully everybody's having a wonderful day. I have had a decent day. I'm glad to be here, guys. Really glad to be here. And wow, 15 people chiming in. If you are in the chat, don't be shy. If you're here, chat with us. This is supposed to be a gear chat type scenario, and gosh, I'm slouching. Guys, I told you, if I'm slouching and you notice that I'm slouching like Mr. Burns, tell me I'm slouching. Hey, you're slouching. Stop it. I'll do my best. Anyhow. Yeah, beefy. Still getting the heights right on these pickups. Really, really working hard to try to get the heights right on these pickups. Because so far, I don't know. All right. So now you've heard high gain. Sorry, high gain fierce. One other thing. Nice, I didn't see that. Accidentally? No, Softube, if it's one thing I know about Softube that I've learned over the last decade, Softube does nothing, absolutely nothing accidentally or by mistake. That company, as far as I know, just does not make a lot of mistakes. As far as Amp Room goes, however, for the first first year or so of its life, the plugin was very flawed. It had a lot of bugs, and I didn't really think it should have come out. I was just being straight and honest and saying I just didn't really think that it should have been a thing, because it was just, I didn't even want to use it. It was just, it was busted, and then all of a sudden they did a big massive update for it, and everything sounded terrific. What is going on here? It's not giving me anything, any of my usual tunes. Anyways, now we are going to go up to high gain rage. Gosh, cannot get things to stay in tune. And as usual, just like last time, I'm actually going to do a quick break and get rid of this guitar. Guys, give me a moment. All right, let's rock. I just, you know what? It's weird because I sat with that guitar last night for an hour, and I thought I had it dialed in exactly the way I wanted, and then I came on stream and I was just like, it was not giving me the same feels in the middle of a stream. I don't know. I'll tell you guys. Anyhow, Gilbert and I here are going to see if we can fix right the ship and move along. That's okay. That's why I have a couple of guitars around, because it's when one is, sometimes a guitar just doesn't feel like getting played. If you guys are out there, whether you have one instrument or multiple instruments, you guys can all everybody, I think everybody has been in that one position where their guitar was just like it did not want to be played that day. And you're like, that makes no sense. How could a guitar not want to be played? Yeah, well, it just does. What's going on? Eric Lavoie, how are you, dude? How do you go about dialing in your pickups? Recently got an 8-string to try out. The pickups are a little iffy. Okay, so let's talk about the pickups that are in it. Tell me about the guitar itself and the pickups that are in it, because if they're like bargain brand no-namers, then the problem is not the height. The problem is just the pickups. Now, let's go to this for a second. The reason that as you tune lower and lower, and as we tune lower and lower as guitar players, we need better pickups. You might be able to get away with, you know, like a metal, you know, dial in a good metal tone in like E or E flat, maybe even D, with like No Name or the OEM or cheap pickups. You might be able to get away with that, like in a higher tuning. But the lower you tune, the more is required from that pickup to you know, remain tight. And the problem with those pickups is that being made with inferior designs, inferior materials, absolutely no quality control whatsoever. They're made in giant factories in bunches of 1 billion, not hand wound by anyone, probably never touched by a human being until like 1 or 2 stages of their lifetime. It's trash. And I talk about like Ibanez Infinity pickups being a huge culprit for being garbage. And if you're playing lower and lower, you need a better pickup. It's just the way she goes. And I see people out there trying their best with, you know, their entry level 8 strings, and there's nothing wrong with an entry level 8 string. But if you're going to buy an entry level guitar, oftentimes to get it to sound better, you're gonna have to do some mods. Please refer to the stream, for the last stream we did, episode 73, and we go through all the different reasons why you want to modify, but be careful about modifying cheaper guitars and parts you're putting and everything else. Okay, as far as that goes, yeah, the lower you tune, especially for like an 8 string, needs good pickups. That's it. I almost wish some of these companies would sell these entry level guitars without pickups at all and take the price down even further, even though the pickups probably only cost them about $3.50. But yeah, getting a set of pickups, as far as the height goes, it's different for every pickup. There's different magnets, different heights for different magnets, and also different feels. But I generally think that most pickups have a starter's height. Now, what you do is you're going to be pushing to get that height, you need to push on the highest fret of your guitar. Then you need to take something like this that I bought for, I don't know, $3 on Amazon, and it's got the little measurements on it all over it. You can take a look at it. And then what I do is you just touch the last fret on your guitar and you measure the distance between the poles of the pickup and the string. And most pickup companies will have a starting point. I think for example, DiMarzio, I think, is most of their humbuckers. They start at like, I think it's 2 millimeters on the bass side and 1.5 millimeters on the treble side. And then if you're using active pickups, it's a different ball game altogether. EMGs have to be very close. Most of them anyways have to be quite close to the pickups, quite close to the strings. Really just do your due diligence. But if it's a no-namer pickup, it's kind of just by ear. And if you're playing a no-name pickup in F sharp, gosh, more power to you, because you're probably going to end up doing more work in your post EQ and tweaking and everything else. My suggestion is your DI's got to be great for amp sims. So go out and get some better pickups. It doesn't always mean you have to go out and buy like Lundgrens for $500. That's not what I'm saying. There are also several companies out there, Iron Gear pickups, for example, that make nice stuff, but they do it for much lower a cost. That's about, I believe it's called Iron Gear. I've tried those. They're fantastic. Bare knuckle. Everybody thinks bare knuckles. It's got to be bare knuckles. It does not, in fact, have to be bare knuckles to sound good and for modern metal. You can use a whole bunch of different pickups for that. And we also have Aurora Tone up here. If you guys want to check out Aurora Tone pickups, one of our channel sponsors, they also make some mean pickups as well. 6, 7, 8, and up. So check those out. All right, let's go back to the Vildsint now that I have a proper guitar. Oh, what did I do? Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay. Much better. Thank you. Thank you, Aziz. I wish I could do, if I had like a wish, like 3, I'll be granted 3 wishes as a guitar player. One of them would be able to do effortless pinch harmonics. I can't do them very well. It's one that's definitely my Achilles heel and my kryptonite as a guitar player. Hold on. No problem, Eric. I'm happy to talk about pickups and DI signal anytime because, guys, the one and the only most important thing to make an amp sim sound great is a great DI signal. How do you acquire that? Well, through good pickups and a very, very good setup of your guitar. You need to make sure your guitar is set up properly because it doesn't matter, as we said, your guitar could be $5,000, $6,000, $10,000, $15,000. And if your truss rod's fucked up, that thing's going to play like a piece of shit. It doesn't matter how expensive your guitar is. And how do you know when your guitar needs maintenance? Well, I see people often on the user groups and such like complaining, my guitar doesn't really play as well as it used to. It doesn't play nice anymore. That's when you know that you need maintenance, is because when you get it from the store, ideally, or get it from somebody like a used sale, sometimes it'll come fucked up. Sometimes it'll come set up. You never know. Some music stores do setups, some do not. And also, you never know what condition something's going to be in. So bring it to a tech and get a good setup done. Or over time, I got to tell you, learn how to do it yourself. If you learn how to do your own maintenance, you will save a lot of money and you will become closer with your instruments because they will be set up exactly the way you want it, not the way some other guy wants it. All right, let's keep playing. So now this is, I'm going to go back because I'm gosh, that is so mid-heavy. That's just so brutal. Oh my gosh, that's so much. That's just so much everything. It's just everything's happening there. Holy fuck, that's brutal sounding. The Vildsint is definitely the heaviest amp inside Softube's amp room. We'll go back to the angles in a bit. These are fantastic. They've really done a good job with these as well. All the cabinets that they've put here, these are rectifiers. The coolest cabinet that I found for it, however, which was the German Viper. I'm going to put the German Viper here on one side and leave this one where it is, and we'll blend it as we go. Let's see what happens here. There it is. Man, this thing is just, it's so brutal. Like, it's built to kill at all times. We haven't even gotten to the insane gain yet, and I haven't even cranked it up. I'm going to take the boost right off it, because I don't even, let's see if we don't need one for a bit here. Nah, you know what? I really do want a boost on that. Wow, this thing is a crusher, an absolute just crusher. And there's just so many things you can do. There's just lots you can do inside here. There's lots of cabinets. There are a lot of cabinets. There's tons and tons and tons of Marshall cabinets. If you go to the studio mode, you can get even more cabinets. Basically, the only thing I think you can't do in this section that you can do in studio, or in the in the studio, is that you're able to actually disassemble the Marshall plugins by using the amp and the cab sections completely separately, and with or mix and match anything you like. Really cool. So you can buy any of those Marshall plugins and mix and match all the cabinets, cabinet sections, and the heads and everything else. It's really, really fun. Also, I believe that the Lemmy Murder 1, can I even say that? I don't think you're allowed to say that word, but what happens if it's part of a product name? Am I going to get censored? Like, what's happening right now? I see people going out of their way to not say certain words, like saying unalived. Like, because if you say something, you get put like down the bench or something. I don't know. That just sucks. Holy cow. Just so mean. Just mean and nasty amp. And this is insane calm? What are we gonna get when we go to insane fierce? I'm scared. Whoa, that's big. That is just built for modern chugs. All right, we'll see what we got here in the chat. I have looked away for a couple minutes. What height do you usually set them to? It depends. The height, it really depends. Like I said, sorry, going back to what Freyskin said, of what height do you usually set them to? Those pickups, the Z Labs pickups, the magnets in them are just so powerful. Like the way he winds his pickups is just, it's just very, very powerful. I have two sets of them, and they both sound superb. Former channel sponsor, Z Labs. But I have a couple sets. Marco, still my boy though, so please do check out Z Labs. We are going to be working in the new year with Aurora Tone pickups. Please do head over. I'll be getting my Colossus and my Ultraviolet set shortly, along with my Mindzinger guitar. You're not going to see anything but this purple fucking guitar for a long time, guys. As soon as I get it, there's going to be nothing else on the channel for a good while. So I hope that's all right. So like, I don't even know where I would personally use that much of that, but I also like that this is a modified TC preamp as well. So they give you the different voltages. Superb. You can use, man, it's super, you can crank it right up if you'd like. It's just there's so much mids. What happens if I try to scoop that out a bit? It cannot be stifled. I will not be stifled, it just said. What just a unique sounding amp. And it's completely done in-house. Completely not modeled after anything real. This is completely done in-house. Boy, oh boy, would I love to try this amp in its actual form though. On top of my old crank Rev 412, oversized 412. Oh, I can just feel it in my bones right now. If this thing was like 120 watts and I put it through my old Rev with just a tube screamer out front. Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day. I can just feel my teeth rattling now. Oh, I really do miss. A lot of people think that I'm just like 100% plugins only. Gotta use plugins or fuck you. That's not the kind of guy that I am at all. I love analog gear, and I spent a lot of years collecting and using and playing in bands with analog gear, jamming with analog gear, trading, buying, selling, trading, buying, selling, trading, buying, selling. You ought to see my reverb.com purchase list from man, so many trades, so many buy and then sell, then buy something else. I was never like one to have more than one or two amps at one time, but I was always like, oh, I want to try that. Well, I got to sell you. Bye-bye. You know, I was that type of person. Good thing now I don't have to be, because plugins give you the ability to have as many as you want and not feel too bad about it, and also not need any space for them. Well, I mean, I guess a hard drive is still space though, isn't it? All right, let's get to the final channel in the Matrix, the insane rage. As you can see, as I've been doing a lot of tweaking throughout this tone matrix, you're not going to be able to just sit with one set of settings. You're going to have to maybe do a little dancing around a little bit and make sure that you're using and you're giving all the 9 different channels in this amp the full and the full chance to succeed, right? Because if you go and you're using, like you guys heard, if I'm using too much presence and too much on the treble, too much in the mids, as soon as I get to any of this middle, any of basically these two here or here, you're hearing any of those 4, really, you're hearing a lot of that. It's just too much, right? So you're going to have to kind of take the presence back a little bit, take the treble back, maybe take the mids back, and then when you're auditioning the other channel, right? They are missing out on not selling this outside amp room. I agree. 100% agree. And Stefan, I'm going to send him this. Their our AR guy. Super, super nice. He always treats, they always treat me with a lot of respect over there, even though really on paper, we don't have I've never really had I mean, I guess the Honest AmSim Reviews website was always very popular, but really, since then, they've just continued to allow me to try things, and they're very interested in what we're doing here, regardless of how many followers and subs we have. They really like what we're doing here. So thanks so much to Softube, Stefan, everybody, Andreas, everybody over there at Softube. Thank you very much for all the support over the years, and giving it right back at you guys, because Vildsint here is an absolute crusher. That is so aggressively mid. There's so many mids in there. Oh man, the attack is so strange. Can't do the harmonics, why? How's it going? Mr. Moonshine, how are you? Tonne Guitar, how are you? I hope everybody is having a great day. I say that a lot, but really, it's my hope for everyone here. I was also noticing, I mean, I know this is jinxing it for sure. Someone's just going to do it to be a jerk at some point. And also we have a very small amount of subs at this point, but so far through all the videos that we have on our channel, not one negative not one thumbs down, not one dislike. That's nice. I like that. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Figured we'd have at least 1 or 2 at this point, because I tend to go off and rant a little bit from time to time. Rants? No, we never rant around here. But man, this thing is just such a savage beast. We're going to move along now. We're going to go to... actually, wait. No, we're going to go back to the Angle Suite. Now that I'm armed with Gilbert here, we'll give this another goal. All right, so these are kind of like the flagship cabs. I'm going to go with just their flagship cabs for the moment. I'm very interested in this pedal. I really have no idea the amount. So it's kind of like a compressor then? Tightness boost. Hold on. Okay, well, that sounds cool and everything, but what I want is you. Why? Why'd you do that? Why? Okay, go away. You. Ah, okay, there we are. Wonderful. I'm gonna get this set up for the junt, and I'm gonna bring this in as well because I'm familiar with it. It's not the best screamer, if I'm gonna be honest. It's a little on the, I don't know, there's something about it. It's not terrible by any means, but all right, now let's go back to this. Okay, so far so good. It sounds pretty good. So far, so good. Yeah, that's sounding way better. Much, much better. Yes, I can actually try that. I can definitely try the Mesa. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I generally try to stick with like what I know the plugin can really do, but yes, we'll give that a go. Now there's 3 different cabs that you can use. Oh no, there are more. There are 5 cabs actually. We have the XXL, you have the VGB Pro, the standard. What do we have loaded up right here? The standard and the VGB Pro. I see. I can see that. There is a slant and a straight. Perfect. I'm not going to mess with it too much. Neat. They also have the retro tube cab. Interesting. You throw that in there instead. See what we got. Yeah. All right. So that responded well. Don't really like that mid bump all that much, so we're gonna leave that alone. We're gonna run. I tend to run a lot of things around 7. It just for some reason always seems to make sense. Really? No, can't throw it in that quick. Cool. And in the back here, we've got a few different things. I don't know much about the low-end comp here. Is this not active? No, it's not. Okay, good. So this, hang on. Is this sort of like a Waves C4 type scenario here? You guys might remember actually a long time ago I did a stream with this. And then something happened with the license where something was actually whacked with my iLock. And I didn't know it because I never, ever, ever opened the actual iLok software. Never. It just sort of does what it does. The thing Whoa! Thing pops up. You do your business. You say, yeah, whatever. License goes on here and you're done. I actually had to open it up. I had a notification there that let me know that something was kind of going on. And yeah, so we got it all fixed. And now I have the license going again. So let's sit over here for a moment. I wish that the settings would carry over. I do. That's just me being lazy, though. Just gonna be straight with you. That's just me being lazy. Straight up. Lazy. Let's see what we got here. This thing sounds pretty beefy. Yep. Yeah. So you know what? I mean, the only thing I never really fully understood was the idea of doing the 60 and the 120. Yeah, I thought maybe this could have been a different amp. Like they could have done two different amps. It's being the same preamp and I mean, just changing the graphic and the response a little bit. Not 100% sure how much of a difference there actually is in the analog world between these two amps. So, yeah, I mean, having another Savage in having two Savages at your disposal though, however, is nice. Being that these are fully modeled amps, nothing has been omitted, nothing has been just removed because, oh, well, we're just going to leave that. You know, we've all seen it, right? Where you see an amp sim based on one of your favorite amps and you're like, wait a minute, where did the settings go? Well, it's been omitted for one reason or another, development's sake, and it wasn't put back, right? So, what happens in those situations is most of the time the developer will just choose which position it's on. Or if it's a particular amp where that switch is almost never used, it's always in one position, then they'll just put it in that position and lop it off because they know no one's going to touch it. So why even bother modeling the other side of that switch? And why not just have it on all the time and build that right in and your development is a little bit shorter. In this particular case, they understand that these amps are built for this reason, and when you go licensed, you got to go all the way, and they've done it, and it sounds terrific. It really does. This whole thing sounds awesome. And of course I'm out of tune again. Why wouldn't I be? Man, what a great day today. It's Thursday. I'm stoked because this weekend the NFL playoffs begin. I am a football fan. I'm a sports fan in general. Unfortunately, my Pittsburgh Steelers, they made the playoffs, but I get the feeling it's going to be quite the ugly game for them. They are very likely to lose, and that's fine. I've come to terms with this already. I've already made my amends. Gosh, why you gotta be so finicky with me? Why? I don't understand. Yeah. Hold on, I gotta go through. It's so different from the Brainworks version. Yeah, I mean, that's great though. If you're a fan of the Angle Savage, you have the ability to go out and purchase both the Softube and the Brainworks versions of them and have your own look. Ooh, punching that mic. You're going to have like two different takes on the amp. I really dislike when I see someone say, yeah, well, I've got this one plugin. Like if something comes out and it's based on a 5150, this one, there's always that guy. There's always that guy. Just like there's always that guy that's got to chime in and be like, oh, well, I've got the real amp, so, you know. There's also always the guy that chimes in and goes, yeah, well, I mean, I already have this plugin and it's the best one out there. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't need this one. I mean, do you though? Do you know that for sure? Do you know that that one is better than the new one? I don't know that before I've tried it. So always be willing to try every single plugin based on amps that you enjoy. And if you don't know that you enjoy the amp or not, if you see a plugin that comes out and the amp looks fun or flashy, look up the amp, listen, you know, do some research. And when you do buy an amp, if you've never used it in person, that's another thing I really dislike is when someone's like, yeah, man, it's so realistic. It sounds just like the real amp. Are you sure about that? Have you tried the real amp? You know what I mean? There's a lot of variables there. Have you tried it? If not, have you gone to YouTube and done a lot of tone clips, listen to a lot? And when I say doing research, I don't mean just going and listening to the, you know, your favorite influencers. Oh, my favorite influencer did the amp that I'm looking for information about. That's great. Watch that one for sure. But also, one of some of the key videos that you might want to watch when you're really looking to figure out how something sounds is you also want to go and watch those videos, those clips of like the dude in his basement trying out the amp in bad lighting and the room looks all yellow and everything else. You want that because it also shows you what the amp sounds like when it's not doctored at all. There's nothing on that amp. It is just some dude's cell phone, some dude's guitar, and that amp that you're looking for information on. There's nothing has been quad tracked, nothing. You know what I mean? Are you feeling me on this one? So if you're looking to see or rather hear or find out more about a particular piece of gear, do your due diligence and do listen to a ton of tone clips. Don't just listen to one or two. Don't just listen to the popular ones. Go and find like some of the more raw clips so you can really find out what a pedal or an amp or a cabinet really sounds like without a whole lot of doctoring and bullshit. Sure, you might hear the, you know, like the limiter or whatever it is in the phone that they're filming it on, you know, kicking in real hard and squeezing the shit out of the sound. Sure, but still worth listening to because then, again, you do get another take on that amp and how it's supposed to sound so that when you lay into a plugin and you hit the first couple of, you would know whether or not, yeah, that actually does sound like the clips I've been listening to. Instead of just getting something and having it sound awesome and just walking away thinking that must be what it sounds like because it sounds awesome, so it must be perfect. No, not true. Just because the plugin sounds really good does not mean it's authentic. It doesn't have to be a complete pile of garbage. It doesn't have to be a complete pile of garbage to really showcase the fact that it doesn't sound like that amp. You know what I mean? So yeah, let's keep on going. Yes, you're right, Kyle Hunter. Kyle Hunter said it and he hit it right on the head. The Savage is a very picky amp. Very picky. But the most picky of all picky amps in the Angle collection that I've ever actually put. Well, no, because I've never actually put my hands on that one. But the Victor Smolsky plugin from Brainworks, that thing's got 9 million different tones that you can do with it. But boy, does it take some doings. That thing can do the cleanest and most pristine cleans and some really, truly wonderful lead tones. And you really, even though I don't really like the IRs, use your own IRs with the Victor Smolsky from Brainworks. And by the way, you gotta get the Retro Tube as well from Brainworks. Man, the Retro Tube is awesome. That thing doesn't look like much, but trust. And you can also go and watch, I think it's one of the our first ever stream was me going through some Swiss Army amps, as I was calling them, and the Angle Retro Tube is exactly that. That thing is awesome. You can do crushing high gain with that, but then you can also get some of the absolute nicest, like dad rock, cock rock tones, hair metal. Do whatever you want with that amp. Cleans, it's got great cleans too. So So if those are on sale, which they tend to be, always be looking over at Plugin Alliance. Get on their mailing list ASAP because they'll give you free stuff just for signing up for the mailing list. They'll be like, hey, here's a bunch of shit. Not shit, but you'll actually get a whole bunch of premium plugins just for signing up. Fantastic. I'm going to be honest, I hate amp sims. I've got the free Ampenstein, and it's the best you've heard. Okay. That's cool too. I've heard Tony and Ron did a great job. I am very good friends with Ron from Ugertone. Used to be called what is it? I Might Get Loud Productions or something like that effect. In any event, yeah, I love the Ampenstein. I think it sounds really good. I think it was unfortunate that it had to be one of the last things for the company to do before it came out, and that their collaborations with Vadim were kind of difficult because of the way Vadim builds his stuff in Flowstone. The way that Vadim builds his stuff in Flowstone, it was very difficult to port out to Mac. So as far as I understand, that those took a while to come together. But yeah, I was actually quite impressed with the Ampenstein. And I know there was some NAM use in it as well, which is also kind of cool. I'm always up for that. So yeah, and if you hate amp sims though, why did you chime in? I'm always curious. Thank you for joining us. I can call myself whatever I want. I like all in all caps. I like the cut of your jib, sir. I like that. Yell at me. I like it. But yes, there's absolutely nothing wrong with the Ugertone sims whatsoever. If you like the Ugertone stuff, be sure if you're a Windows user to check out VTAR amps, because I've got some good news for you. If you like the Ampenstein, well, then one of the guys that was helping to build the Ampenstein also has a whole bunch of his own free stuff and some stuff that won't cost you much at all. So you should make sure you check out Vadim Taranov's fantastic VTAR amps, VTAR. And you will be quite impressed. I think we're going to be doing a VTAR stream sometime soon when I catch up with Vadim and ask him what really should I have installed, what he would like me to have installed, because he's got a lot of stuff. And I know there's some older stuff and there's some stuff he's more and some stuff he's less proud of. So yeah. When you say the free Ampenstein, do you mean the one from Ugertone, or do you mean our old one from the Honest Amp Sim reviews days? Because we did like a Krankenstein type thing with Vadim as well way back in the day, and it was free. Maybe it was free for a bit, or maybe there's a free version of it, Pedro, that we don't know about. Because as it does tend to happen, stuff does get put out there. So. In any event, yeah, I'm having a good time today, just chilling out with you guys and hanging out and checking out this here amp room. So Marshall Suite. Let's head over to the Marshall Suite for a sec, and we'll go over it a little bit. I'm not going to do too much Marshall playing today because I'm not really set up for it and not really feeling like doing any rock playing today in B. It kind of sounds weird when you try to do straight up like rock, just straight up rock stuff in B. Actually, it doesn't sound too bad. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Never mind. My bad. Go up again. You know what I mean? It just... So yeah, it doesn't really match up. Anyways, there's a bunch of Marshalls that you guys can check out ASAP. As requested, I am going to take a rip through the rectifier here. And I think they've already got me set up with some rectifier cabinets, which is perfect because that's what I wanted anyway. We're going to go to the modern right away. I'm not just going to get right to business. And make sure I'm on the channel 1, channel 2. I'm already on modern. And oh, I see what it was trying to do to me there. I'm just gonna get the tone dialed in first. Why do they continuously why are they throwing a rat box at me in these with like, why do they have it defaulted with the rat? It's a very strange decision for that amp. I've never in my entire life seen anybody put a rat through a rectifier before. Feel like so, move it, move it. What a wonderful song. All right. Yeah, I don't know about this one. You can be the judge. And this is not how I would set up a rectifier right away. I'm going to note that if I was to turn up the rectifier bass, if you were to, there's no universe that anybody would ever turn the low end on a rectifier up to 7. I've never seen anybody do that. Why? Because if you've ever used a rectifier, you'll know that the bass is usually just likes to chill between 3 and 5, maybe. 7 is like the low end of these amps, guys. It has low end. It has the low end of a bulldozer. Fucking bulldozer. So most of the time, I'll wheel it way back. I don't know about the rectifier, guys. No, I don't think the rectifier is going to be my bag. Not everything in here is like going to be... Not everything in every suite. I should say that. Not everything in every suite is going to be your bag. And that's okay. Because I know that the Heart, the Vildsint, this Marshall here, the entire Marshall collection, everything in here. Bass suite, by the way. Hidden gem right here. And yes, Pedro, I will do a bass stream. Because now I've got this finally figured out. This thing is the hidden gem of all bass plugins, guys. I'm going to be honest, right straight up. This Supernova parallel channel bass amplifier from Softube. This thing is fucking awesome. And I can't wait to go over it. I will do a bass stream sometime very soon and put a few different amps on it. I really need to do it. I just know that they're not as popular, and I know that I just don't want to lull y'all to sleep with my horrible bass skills. So you like the process sound or you don't like the process sound? I'm not following. He's always tweaking red tone and mega fuzzy tread lead. I'm guessing those are the Vadim's favorites. It could be. But either way, I want to know what he would like. And then he's got very popular. He's got quite the following too. You really do. You have to check him out. If you've never heard of Vitar amps, make sure you head over to Vitar, give him a like, and pick up a bunch of stuff. I think like, what's the most expensive amp there? Like $20, $5, $7? Either way, this guy's, he has a really great mind for this stuff. He builds his stuff in a very different way. And if you've got Windows, and also you'll have to have your own, of course, you'll have to have your own impulse response loader and your own IR collection. If you don't have an IR collection at this point in your in things, it's very, very easy to acquire one. So much for free out there right now. Oh my gosh. Also, the 7 Deadly Sins IR pack is still kicking around in Google limbo. So if you can reach up there and grab that 7 Deadly Sins impulse response pack, wherever it is, it's gigantic. There's lots of good stuff in it. Also lots of dog shit. So you have to kind of sift through to find the good stuff. All the old Sneap Forum stuff is on there. All the old Fredman impulses are on there. or in there rather, there is a little bit of, there's not a lot of crap. There's a little bit of crap in there because some of it is quite old and just kind of thrown in there. And so the 7 Deadly Sins pack is still a hidden gem out there. There's a lot of good stuff, and absolutely none of it, nothing in there is pirating anything. I can guarantee you that, because I remember when this pack started coming together, and everything in that pack, as far as I know, was given to that pack and with full intention of putting it in there and letting it and getting it out. So again, if you don't have your own IR collection, you don't need to spend any money. You can just basically go on Google and type in free impulse responses and download them all. There's hundreds, thousands of them out there based on tons of different cabs, and you can acquire your own. So yeah, if you decide to use any of Vitar's, any of the Vitar stuff, you'll need a loader. My loader of choice is always Nadir from STL Tones. You can get that in the Emissary, the Emissary bundle from STL Tones for free. It comes along with the Emissary and Nadir, and it's just awesome. For those of you looking for something a little bit more advanced, I like STL Libra, but because you can actually save and create your own IR blends in there up to X amount. I think it's like eight different cabinets, something to that effect. But there are a lot of impulse response loaders out there. The lots for free. There's lots for not free, lots for paid, and you just have to find one that works for you. So my thoughts here on this particular piece of gear is that Amp Room is very metal. It can get very metal, and I think there'll probably be more metal coming to it because one of the guys that works over there and one of the product specialists, and I believe he's one of the product designers, is Jensen from The Haunted. And so there's going to be, I would have to assume that this year, early on in this year, there's probably going to be something else added to Amp Room. I don't know that, as complete speculation, and I'm just completely imagining this, but this is a company that does usually like to put something out in January, February-ish, and I would be very interested to see what that's going to be. All right, guys. Hang on, I'm just reading through, making sure I get it all in. Love the Ukertone drums, never jumped into their amps. I'm going to be honest, their amp sims aren't, I wouldn't consider their amp sims the best. And I'm really glad for Ron doing like all this new stuff that he's looking to do. Oh. Uh-oh. If you haven't heard of Clowncore Hell, you need to go watch the video right now. If it comes on every time, I have to turn it up for just like 2 seconds. Because I still remember, it takes me right back to the first time I ever heard it. And I was sitting there with my wife, and we were watching it, looking at each other, going, what the fuck are we looking at? The fact that it's Lewis Cole, it makes it way more awesome. And if you don't know who Lewis Cole is, I want you to go to the search bar up here after my stream, or now, and look up Lewis Cole, and watch some of his stuff, and then go look up Clowncore Hell, and picture that as the same guy playing the drums. It's bananas. The fact that you want to talk about people having alter egos in music, that's an alter ego. Very, very talented man. Kyle, let's talk. You're on your IR journey. I am well into I would say I'm well past journey and gone on at this point, I'm well beyond journey. What's more than a journey? What do they call that? What's like the ups, an adventure? I would say an adventure is below journey. What would you guys say? There's adventure, then there's journey, and then what comes next? I'm curious. Whatever that is, I'm on that. I'm on the road. In any event, guys, I'm going to get going. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for all the support. The Vildsint absolutely rips. One of the heaviest, if not the heaviest amp sim in the business right now. This is in my definitely my top 5 to top 3. I have not used it in a mix though. A lot of the other heavy stuff that I really love to support, I've used it in a mix. This I've not used in a mix, so I don't know how it sounds in a mix. So that would be up to you to find out. And but man, download Amp Room today. They have free trials for everything, and they have this nifty little installer where you just download this program and it installs and licenses everything in the list for you. Kind of like the Nembrini Central, and the Tune Track has their thing. A lot of companies are starting to do those like all-in-one programs where you can like load everything instead of having to go download everything individually and unpack it. And you know, it's become a lot easier now. So I like that. All right. I am going to be here this weekend, 100%, Saturday or Sunday. I'm probably going to be in celebration mode. Very hazy in this house. It's going to be very hazy this weekend in this home. So yeah, it's going to be fun. We are going to do some stuff this weekend. I don't know what, but we're going to do some stuff. And might be a giveaway. I think it might be a giveaway. If you're out there and you're awaiting your Polychrome DSP or your Audiority prizes, I have done them today. So those should be in the next couple of days. Okay. Once again, congratulations to Luca. Everybody give Luca a big high five on his son, Nicolo. I got this name from him the other day. Finally gave me the name. He didn't even tell me the name or the gender or anything. He's just like, I had a kid. See ya. And he came back a couple days later. He's like, oh yeah. Man, that'd be a trip, eh? All right, guys. Thank you so much. So much. I will see you guys this weekend. Please do join us on Instagram and Facebook. I am starting to become a little bit less of a piece of shit. I'm so bad with updating our social media. We really need somebody that helps us out with our social media a little bit, as we are all just so busy right now. But yeah, in any event, please do join us on Instagram. We will occasionally be posting things on there. Facebook, I don't know. I'm kind of done with Facebook, guys. I'm going to be straight. I'm kind of done with it. So we'll see about Facebook. But yeah, do join us on Instagram. And from there, guys, things are, man, this year is going to be, before I say goodbye, guys, this year is really going to be huge. I got 3 emails today, 2 for betas that I can't talk about, and another for a plugin that's I know is coming out in a few months. Holy shit. There's so much coming out this year that I cannot wait to bring you release day streams, content, everything else. Oh, content and everything else. Oh my God, I'm so excited. So many cool and very unique plugins coming out in the next even 2-3 months, guys. So keep your ear to the ground, your finger on the pulse, and hopefully we'll get to be one of the first people to test it for you. All right, guys, thank you again. I will see you guys next time. Cheers.